It's Helget's Huddle here. I'm your host, Noah Helget, co-host Trevor Mai, aka T-Bone. T-Bone, how are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. It's my first podcast here on Helget's Huddle, and tonight it's going to be all about the NFL. T-Bone, you know a lot about the NFL, don't you?
Yeah.
Passionate LA Chargers fan, so we never know. We might have to turn you into a Chiefs fan.
No, not gonna happen.
Not going to happen, man. Well, we'll get started here. Bengals are at number one. Who are they taking?
Joe Burrow.
You think Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
I think that's a legitimate, pick. Joe Burrow, he had 12 touchdowns in the playoffs alone. So, I mean, he put up some pretty good numbers. He won the Heisman, of course. He had 60 touchdowns, 5,671 passing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns in one season. That is just outstanding, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never seen a quarterback play like that.
Yep. Definitely dominated the college football.
I mean, I see 3 quarterbacks going in the top 10. I don't know about you, T-Bone.
Yeah.
I
think
mean,
you're right.
Joe Burrow, I think he'll go number 1, like you said.
Bengals, Dolphins, Chargers, probably.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, Joe Burrow's on the radar. Tua from Alabama's on there. Justin Herbert, Love from Utah State, I know. So, I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. Just some stats from Tua. He only played 9 games his senior season with that hip injury. He was out for the rest of the season. He only had 33 touchdowns and pretty much 3,000 passing yards. So I feel like if he would have played the full season, I feel like he would have had more than that.
Yeah, he could have possibly been even higher, maybe gone first if he'd played more, if it was without that hip injury. But still, pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like he would have been a top runner for the Heisman, also running with Burrow and Chase Young and them guys. The next quarterback I have, Justin Herbert. He's quarterback for Oregon. He was pretty solid too for Oregon.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he led them to the Rose Bowl. They beat Wisconsin 28-27. He had 32 touchdowns on the season, 3,500 passing yards. That's pretty much the quarterbacks we got. I mean, that's a pretty solid quarterback class out of the NFL, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, plus a lot more free agent QBs. It's got to be a lot of choices.
Yeah, that's true. There'll be a lot of quarterbacks on free agency this year. Most of them probably get re-signed, like Drew Brees, or the big topic we'll talk about later is Tom Brady. I don't know. I'm not sure where he'll go, but there's a lot of good talent out there trying to get re-signed. Next topic in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, what else can we say about that big Super Bowl run, T-Bone?
Yeah, they have a hell of an offense, and it's a pretty good year for them. I'd say the Ravens and the Chiefs were probably the 2 best teams in the AFC this year.
I totally agree. The Titans, man, they had Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. That was a duo, wasn't
it? That was shocking. I never thought they would make it to the AFC Championship.
Now, I mean, just a rundown of the Super Bowl run. We were down 24-zip in the divisional round. To be honest, I didn't have much faith in them.
Yeah, I was thinking, here we go with Andy Reid choking again in the playoffs.
You're exactly right. We have a bad record of that. And then 3 minutes later, it's 24-21. I couldn't believe it.
It was pretty wild.
Patrick Mahomes just stepped up, and he's one freak athlete, I tell you, T-Bone.
Mm-hmm.
They came back and won it 51-31. That 82 points in a divisional round. That is just outstanding numbers on both teams.
Yeah, imagine if the Chiefs actually played first quarter. Imagine what the score would be.
I mean, the Texans had quite a good team, too. I mean, Deshaun Watson's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
They had DeAndre Hopkins. He's a freak wide receiver, I know. They were down 10-0 in the AFC Championship to the Titans. I wasn't sure about that game either, T-Bone.
I was pretty confident that they would probably beat the Titans. I didn't even think the Titans would make it there. I mean, outside of Derrick Henry, the Titans don't have much.
And I mean, that's what watching the Titans against the Patriots and Ravens. The Chiefs' target was Derrick Henry, and that they stopped him. They held him to only 69 yards that game.
The Chiefs' run defense definitely stepped up during the playoffs,
which they weren't very good the regular season.
Yeah,
they stepped up in postseason, which that's when it really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry had 182 yards. against the Patriots and 195 against the Ravens. So, I mean, he started off the playoffs really, really good, and then the Chiefs get to him and shut him down. I mean, he's a pretty big guy to stop.
Yeah, he's a great running back to have back there. I think if the Titans are going to have to continue their success, probably need to take a wide receiver, and Tannehill probably needs to develop more.
And I mean, he played for a Dolphins team that hasn't been very good in a couple years. He gets traded to the Titans, and he just goes off on the Titans. It feels like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they should re-sign him. I mean, he has potential.
Yeah, I definitely think he's better than Mariota. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what Mariota kind of started, and then he lost his starting spot to Ryan Tannehill. Because Tannehill stepped up and he did his stuff. And I mean, he had A.J. Brown to connect to. He was a big rookie of the year contender, but Boza got that, the DN from the 49ers. He's a freaking freak, too.
Yeah.
I tell you. Which that leads to another topic, Spagnuolo's defense. They weren't too good in the regular season, like we said, but they just produced in the postseason.
Yeah, they sure did.
I mean, they put up some pretty impressive numbers. The biggest game I feel like was the Titans. We had to stop Derrick Henry. If we didn't stop him, he was going to run all over our defense.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans did beat the Chiefs in the regular season. So I guess, at least the Titans know they've done it before.
Yeah, and I mean, they had that mentality. They're going to come in and, beat us again.
Mm-hmm.
But that defense steps up, and I mean, Matthews' help. That's a good trade on the Chiefs' part, getting him from Arizona Cardinals, wouldn't you say, Tebow?
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the backfield. He's everywhere. He'll be catching interceptions and getting, blitzing back into the backfield to sack the quarterback. So, I mean, Dirty Daniel Sorensen, he's stepping up. He did really good this year, T-Bone.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the defensive line, I mean, it was a fairly new defensive line, wouldn't you say? I mean, Chris Jones is a pretty good veteran.
Yeah,
they had Pinnell and, Derek Nottie. And I think that's... I don't know what they'll do with Chris Jones. He's a free agent this year, so, I mean, do we free cap space with letting him go and, trying to keep some of the same talent we have on the offensive side? Or, re-sign him and have a pretty good defense? What do you think?
I'd say you definitely need to re-sign him. You definitely need a veteran back there, and they're very strong on the offensive side, the Chiefs, and need to keep improving that defense. And I think you definitely need to keep him around.
Yeah, I mean, you need a veteran on that side to lead the team, lead that defense. You need a big leader. Which, I mean, if they let Chris Jones off, I don't know. Matthew may have to step up, but it's not all one player. It's all 11 players that need to step up and work as a team on that defensive side. Which, I mean, leads to another thing, the draft. What do you think the Chiefs need to be getting in the draft?
They need just a power running back, like a Marshawn Lynch or Derrick Henry or something like that. Because I think Damian Williams is a good receiving back, and but they just need just to get the running game going. A guy that can just power and get a few yards to keep the chains moving, and someone reliable. Other than LaShawn McCoy, because he's getting up there.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of drying up.
And Patrick Mahomes is basically their only running game.
You're exactly right. When he doesn't have a pass, he'll run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty dangerous on a quarterback. If he gets hit pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, I've watched a few running backs in the league. Just J.K. Dobbins for Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
He's a pretty good beast. I see a lot of Zeke Elliott in him because he played with him, and then Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin. I mean, he's another good running back up there in the Big Ten. But you think they'll go running back or more defensive players?
I would hope. I think they're going to go running back. I think looking towards the future, that's something offensively they need to invest in. And then, maybe the later rounds probably go more defensive and maybe sign some more people.
And I mean, we have back-to-back picks there in the draft. We had the 32nd, and then the first and the second round. So I mean, well, we have a chance of getting some good players here in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the draft, I mean, in that draft when Patrick Mahomes got drafted, I wasn't sure what to expect.
I don't know if I would have traded Alex Smith for, and have Patrick Mahomes start. I didn't think I would have done that. I was surprised when they did that.
And that was a big gamble because I mean, Alex Smith, even though he was okay, and then they're gambling on Patrick Mahomes when he started that last game in the season, his rookie year against the Broncos, and he showed up and played. And I think Coach Reed saw something in his eyes that, I'm going to start him.
Yeah, ended up being the right decision because Alex Smith got hurt about midway through that next season.
Yeah, with the Redskins, that was a gruesome leg injury.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a Joe Theismann injury, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And I mean, Patrick Mahomes, on that QB sneak into the end zone, he gets hurt against the Broncos, dislocates his knee. I thought our season was done.
I didn't know. I think I didn't know how long he would be out. I think they got really lucky with that injury. And I don't know if I'd be running that play anymore with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, when Coach did that, I was like, it's a play, but man, you're sending your possibly veteran quarterback into that pile. And when he got down with the injury, I was nervous. I wasn't sure
and that's
how long he would be out.
That's another situation where it helped have a reliable running back.
Yes. I mean, he was only out for 2 games though. I was surprised. He got back pretty quick.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would have sent that play him. I don't think he's the right quarterback to do that with.
Yeah.
I think quarterback sneak takes a more powerful guy to do it.
I mean, he has that arm, so I mean, he can connect to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce and those really stellar running backs. Derek Williams had a pretty good passing yardage. I mean,
yeah,
he'd catch it and go for the TD.
Yeah, I think he definitely got better as the season went on.
Oh, absolutely, I'd say. Packers and Vikings. Those are the next 2 games with Matt Moore in backup. Loses the Packers, beat the Vikings. That shows how good Matt Moore is. Stepping up as that backup quarterback.
Yeah, definitely a good backup. There's a lot of good backups around the NFL. And, definitely a needed.
It was a good time to prove himself because, sometimes he doesn't get to prove himself in front of a big Arrowhead crowd like they have.
Yeah.
So he had to feel good in those games.
Yeah, that was great. And, if Matt Moore doesn't pick up one of those wins, they might not have gotten the 2nd seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And Patrick Mahomes, an MVP and Super Bowl MVP before the age of 25. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely a good start to his career. And let's see if he can keep performing at this level.
How many Super Bowls do you think he'll have in his career?
I don't know. I don't know how he can, how long he'll keep playing this way if he can keep running the ball and throwing like this. I think he'll definitely get a few more. But everybody in the NFL is watching, and they're not going to lay down.
Yeah, I have a pretty solid number. I have 5 Super Bowls under his belt. He only needs 4 more. I see that happening. We'll see how the team is, in the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be the same team. Some people are going to have to leave, to free cap space up.
Yeah, and you'll wonder how good Patrick Mahomes will be when some players leave.
Mm-hmm. He's still on a rookie contract. Do you see a franchise tag coming for him?
No, I don't.
You don't think he'll get franchised?
No, I think they'll give him a big contract, and it'll be a long-term contract. And I don't know if he will take a discount or not. I don't know. He might
State Farm discount. On the commercials.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he wants to take a discount, and hopefully they'll be able to keep some of his weapons around. Maybe he'll take a big payday.
If he gets that big paycheck, I can see it well over $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see him being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think it'll definitely be for about like 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
possibly.
I mean, that's something to think about. Do they franchise him or just do they offer him a lot of money? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, the next thing is freeing up cap space. We don't have enough money to pay all those same players. Who do we leave? Who do we keep and pay? And who do we, say sorry, guys?
Well, Hill and Kelsey are definitely still under contract, so that'll be the big one. But I think Sammy Watkins will probably be the one to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw
unless he's willing to take a Chris Jones is willing to take a discount.
Yeah,
maybe you can.
I
pay
know.
him both.
Demarcus Robinson, he's out. I saw that this morning. When I was doing some research.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did good with McCole Hardman. We weren't sure about him, and he's up there with Tyreek Hill in speed.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy Watkins had a good year, but he hasn't always had great years in the past.
And he had a pretty good few games, and he kind of just kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah,
which
I
that's
think
just
he's
how the season goes.
I think he's replaceable, and letting him go, I think somebody will definitely pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, free agency. That's a big topic in this these days.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones, what do you think he's going to do?
He's going to stay.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think the Chiefs need to do that to keep their veteran defense going.
Yep.
I mean that's where it all starts. He was out that first game in the playoffs, which I could see the defense not playing as good because 24's it. That is just unbelievable. And then he comes back to the Super Bowl and he was in Jimmy G's face most of the game.
Yeah, two really good D lines on both sides. A lot of pressure. And I think the Chiefs' defense is definitely getting better, and you got to continue in that direction.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's a bunch more free agents than I have, but I just have a few of the main ones down. The Saints, all three of their quarterbacks are up for free agency. Who do they keep and who do they kick out?
I definitely think Breeze is staying.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready to retire. I think he desperately wants another Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, they were up there. I was hoping they'd produce some pretty good runs in the playoffs, but they're just a little short.
2 really good years, back to back, and he wants another one.
I see Teddy Bridgewater going to a good caliber team, because he's a decent quarterback.
Yeah. And he stepped up when Breeze was hurt.
Mm-hmm. With that thumb injury, I know.
Yeah. I don't know between Teddy and Taysom Hill. I think Teddy's younger.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped up. Taysom Hill is more versatile. He can play multiple positions. But, he's battled some injuries.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know where he's playing. He's going to be playing quarterback, running back, wide receiver, kick returner. You don't know where he's going to be. He's a freak,
Yeah.
Which I think they would. I think they would re-sign Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
And then the Titans, Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. I know for a fact. Well, it's not a fact, but Derrick Henry has to stay. I mean, I don't see him going anywhere.
He's their best player.
Yeah. And then Ryan Tannehill, he's up for free agency.
Yeah.
With the season he had, do you think they'll keep him?
Yeah, I think so. I don't see him going to an AFC championship and then just letting him go. I think he's going to stay.
Which, I mean, they're late enough in the draft this year. Quarterbacks might not be a option.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think you got to go for a wide receiver.
I mean, big teams that need a quarterback, the Colts. What do you think they're going to do?
I think there's quite a few options. I think if Tom Brady leaves, the Colts are definitely an option.
If I see that's another thing. If I see Tom Brady leaving the Patriots, which I do not see happening, he's going to the Colts. I feel like.
I think so too. I mean, you could have a Phillip Rivers. You could have someone else, but I think.
I mean,
they're
early enough in the draft. They can draft a. I think Tua and Joe will be gone, but Justin Herbert will be the next in line. I think. Which, I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's in the draft this year, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the Colts O line's really good.
Yeah. Quentin Nelson's a big front runner there, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bengals, Joe Burrow's the one.
I think so. I think it has to be.
Miami Dolphins, they're early enough. I think they'll be the next in line to get a quarterback. I see Tua going there.
I could see that. I could also see Herbert going there.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Miami's before the Colts, so they'll be on the clock before them. And then, T-Bone, your LA Chargers. Quarterback, what are you thinking?
I think they'll take either Tua or Herbert.
You think they'll be drafting a quarterback and
I think so.
putting it into Tyrod Taylor's hands?
No, I think you take a gamble, and if it doesn't work out, then I think Tyrod Taylor's the Band-Aid solution.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers kind of gave us a scare in that last game of the season.
Yeah.
I wasn't, Chiefs are sticking in there, but the Chargers, they're trying to battle back. And, Phillip Rivers' final game as a Charger.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely a great career.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers.
He's had some ups and downs, but, he's had some good seasons also. He's beat the Chiefs a few times, but not lately, I know.
Yeah, not these last two games.
I mean, the draft, big names in the draft, Chase Young, I see him going early too.
Yeah.
Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. He's from the state of Kansas. He'll be a good defensive player. But I read something, and I think it's pretty good. I see Khalil Mack, linebacker for the Bears, getting traded to Washington for the number 2 pick. Which, I mean, that makes sense because, Chicago, they're going to need a quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky's not the one.
Yeah, I don't know if I would trade Khalil Mack.
I mean, that'd be a big gamble. I mean,
yeah,
keep that veteran linebacker or, get a pretty risky number 2 pick.
Yeah, I think you keep that linebacker.
I mean, when Jared Goff and Mitchell Trubisky went 1 and 2, I wasn't quite sure where. I mean, Jared Goff's definitely had a better career so far than Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Mitchell Trubisky's still pretty young.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would give up on him yet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You never want to. Yeah.
I mean, he did have a 12-4 season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think I would stick with him a little longer.
Yeah. I mean, he has bad seasons and good seasons. I mean, that's just all in the game. The game of the sport. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those top 4 teams are going to need quarterbacks. What's on the Chargers? What's their number 1 need?
Quarterback definitely,
yeah.
Absolutely. If they sign somebody, then I could definitely see them taking a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that Chargers defense is just a few players away from being really, really good.
Well, T-Bone, thanks for joining me on the show, Helget Huddle. The story behind the LA Chargers, I had to, being a big Chiefs fan, I had to, talk about the Chargers a little bit because my co-host T-Bone's a big Chargers fan. Mm-hmm. So that'll be my first Helget Huddle podcast this week. Make sure to listen next week for my next one. So I appreciate you listening to my first podcast.